Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to watch my video. Sorry it's been so long since I made a video. Had surgery and hadn't been up to doing a video or getting on the water to do an on the water video. Just now getting around to doing my June my June baits video. I'm going to go over some of the things I'm going to have tied on the deck of my boat during the month of June. We're going to start with top water. This is a Vixen. It's a walking style bait. It's like a Zara Spook or a Strike King Sexy Dog. You throw these out there, they'll hit the water, and then you start just giving them little twitches, and they will walk back and forth like this. They'll stay in the strike zone a long time, just walking back and forth. They won't move forward too much as long as you're just doing light twitches. That's one top water that I will have tied on. Another top water that I will have tied on is a prop style bait. This is a Rapala X-Wrap prop bait. Got a feather on the back hook. And the Devil's Horse. I'll have the Devil's Horse, Smithwick Devil's Horse prop bait tied on. Either the Smithwick or the Rapala prop bait. I'll have one of those three tied on, or one of those two tied on, and along with the walking style bait. The walking style bait, either one of them, you'll throw them over big flat points. You can throw them down the flats. You can throw them around standing timber. Throw it over brush piles and rock piles. Basically all the way down to 20 foot of water. You can throw it over the top of them and they'll come up and smash it, especially if you're fishing in a very clear lake. They'll come up and smash them. As you notice, they always kind of a green or bluegill perch color. The perch and bluegill will basically be spawning the rest of the summer as long as the water is over 70 degrees. They spawn every 30 days, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. You can go back in coves and cuts in 2 to 6 feet of water. Most time they'll be around some shade. They don't want to be in the sun all the time, so because it's hot outside, and they'll be around an overhang or something where they'll have some shade. If you hadn't seen them, they make little round depressions in the floor of the lake, and there'll be several of them. There'll be a bunch of them spawning right there, close together. It'll kind of look like a honeycomb, and you find that, you can pretty much expect to catch some fish around those spawning bluegill and perch. Throw both of them on a 7.3 medium to medium heavy rod, 12 to 15 pound monofilament line, because the fluorocarbon line will sink, and if it sinks, the line sinks, those baits will not work properly. So you want to use monofilament line. for your top water. For those top waters, you can throw a buzzbait or whopper flopper on fluorocarbon because you hold that up anyway. And then whatever reel is your preference, what you can use there. Next, we're going to be talking. I'll have one of the top waters tied on from now to end of October, and along with this one too. The Big Worm, 10-inch old monster Big Worm, made by Zoom, the Zoom old monster. I'll have that tied on from now on through the summer. Tequila Sunrise is another good color. The other one was Strawberry. Strawberry works amazing over on Bull Shoals. I probably shouldn't be giving that out. It works great at Bull Shoals. If you're fishing at night, here's the black and blue flake for night fishing. Another one of my favorite colors is motor oil. As you can see, it's green with kind of some orange in it. Motor oil, Zoom old monster. It mimics a bluegill fairly well. I'll have those tied on for the rest of the summer. Another bait that works exceptionally well this time of year. I don't have a head with me right now, but I've done videos in the past that had the wobble head on it or swing head. It's the lead head with a free swinging hook off of it. It's not like most jigs. The hook is solid in the lead and it doesn't move. But the swing head or wobble head is kind of what it says. It's a free swinging on the hook. The Big Worms, I'll rig them Texas style. I'll use anywhere from a 3/16 to a 3/8 ounce weight on those. From 1 to 10, 15 feet with very little wind, I will throw the 3/16, and then from anywhere from 10, 15 feet on down to 30 feet, I'll use a 1/4 ounce. Unless it's really windy, then I'll go to 3/8, and then I'll bump it up the shallower. In the shallows, I'll bump it up to a 1/4 if it's really windy. But back to the wobble head, with a piece of plastic. This is a Zoom Z-Craw. It's a very, very good bait on the back of a wobble head. Catch a lot of big fish on the wobble head. This is June bug color. It is a very, very good color this time of year. I like the June bug this time of year. I don't catch near as many fish on the June bug as I do more natural colors like green pumpkin or tilapia or something like that. But I do catch quality fish when I catch them on the June bug. Get your limit on the natural color, switch to June bug, and go find your big one. I fished those on a 7.3 heavy, medium heavy rod, 10 or 12 to 20 pound Sunline Sniper fluorocarbon line, and then whatever reel that you want to use, it's your preference. Lincoln 16.4. You'll fish the wobble head basically like a crankbait. You'll throw it out there, and of course that lead head will go to the bottom, and you just start a slow reel and reel it over points, over flats, over any kind of cover. It doesn't matter if it's brush, rock, whatever. Just reel it over it, and those fish will come out and smash that wobble head. The big worm, same deal. You fish it on flats, points, through the brush, through rock piles, you know, wherever the bass are living. Excuse me. Another bait that works really good this time of year is a big crankbait, deep diving crankbait. I like to fish this time of year anywhere from 8 feet to 28 feet. It just depends on where the fish are set up at the time. This is a deep diving crankbait. Again, a bluegill type color. And this will dive down to about 18, 20 feet. Got a rattle in it. Got to get a rattle in it. And that rattle moves around. So when you throw it, that rattle will help you get more distance. Longer cast means deeper it'll go. And you'll throw this on points, secondary points, humps, places where fish are stacked up, feeding on shad, bluegill. Ouch. I usually throw my crankbaits on 7.3 to 7.6 rod, medium or medium light rod with 10 pound Sunline Sniper fluorocarbon. If the deeper you want it to go, the smaller line diameter you can use and get your crankbait to get down deeper if you use lighter line. If you go heavier line, it will not dive as deep. But I like the 10 pound line. That's what I usually use. A jig or just a football jig is good this time of year. You can put a Zoom Z-Craw on the back. One of my favorite colors is brown or peanut butter and jelly. Either one of the two of those. If you don't know what peanut butter and jelly is, it's brown with purple in it. And then I use a green pumpkin trailer on brown and PB&J. A bluegill color jig also is a good color jig to throw this time of year, especially if you're around a lot of bluegill beds. But I throw more plastics from when water temperature hits about 60 degrees. I start throwing more plastics than I do jigs. I do throw a jig in some cases, I like to still flip around bushes with jigs. I'll flip around bushes with a big worm too. But another bait that I will have tied on, and probably for the rest of the summer, is find what I'm looking for here. Still on the little one. Find just a regular tube. Yeah, here we go. Alright, now we're in business. You're going to want something finessey, because they're not always going to be in the mood to power fish like I like to fish, but the fish will not be in the mood to do that. So, when they're really, really in a finicky mood, here is the 2.5 inch salty tube from Big Bite Baits. Big Bite Baits, little 2.5 inch salty tube. That little dude right there will catch them whenever they are very hard to catch. Whenever they've got lockjaw. I throw these on a spinning rod, of course, with light line, 6 or 8 pound test line, with a small head in it, and throw it around points and rock piles and that kind of thing. I don't usually throw it around brush piles because it has an exposed hook, but rock piles, you can throw it around rock piles. I mean, you'll still get hung up some, but not like you would if you was fishing around brush piles. Bluff ends and points is really good place to fish these little tubes. When other people's using drop shots, I'm usually throwing a tube, thinking something different than what everybody else is throwing. And the fish loves tubes. I mean, I've caught fish for years on tubes, and it seems like people's gotten away from the tube since the drop shot and shaky heads come along. Seems like they don't throw tubes as much as they used to. This is a tour tube. It's a 3.5 inch bait. 3.5 inch bait. I like to throw it. This is tilapia color. The 2.5 was a watermelon seed color. This is a 3.5 inch tube. Again, throw it on the drop offs, the points, rock piles. It's a really good bait when the fish are being finicky, and everybody else is throwing drop shots and shaky heads. Try the tube. Again, a Big Bite Baits tour tube in the tilapia color. Now flipping, if I'm still flipping around bushes, there's still bushes and fish up shallow chasing those bluegill, and they'll be in the bushes and around brush piles and things like that, around where those bluegill beds are, and that's where I go to the Big Bite Baits Tour Flipper Tube. It's a 4-inch tube. It's got a lot of tentacles on the bottom. It's pretty thick. But as you can see, green pumpkin with orange and black flake in it. And oh, it's got some purple in it too. It's got a little bit of purple. I don't know if you can see it or not when I'm turning it. But great bluegill imitator. That thing comes down to the bottom. I usually Texas rig if I'm Texas rig this one. And to flip with, and or pitch it around lay downs and that kind of thing. But it's a 4-inch big bite baits tour flipping tube, 4 inches, and it catches fish like crazy. I mean, it's a great bait to flip and pitch with, while everybody else is pitching other baits. Not many people will be pitching that tube, and it'll be something different for the fish to see pitched in around that brush and stuff. The 4-inch flipping tube I'll be using on a 7'3", 7'3" rod. Again, anywhere from 12 to 20 pound test. Sunline Sniper fluorocarbon. There we go. And like I said, I'll Texas rig that. And depends how thick the brush are is how big a sinker I use when I'm rigging it. If it's light, if it's kind of a light brush that you're pitching in, I'll use a 1/4 ounce to 3/8 ounce weight. If it's heavy brush, I will go up to a 1/2 ounce weight to get the bait down through the brush. Now the little tube, the little tour tube, and the 3.5 inch tour tube, I will use the exposed hook on these tubes, because I'm not going to be throwing it around thick cover. I'm just going to be throwing it out on points and letting it go down into rock piles and around rocks. I throw this on the spinning reel, 6 or 8 pound test line. Be Sunline Sniper again, medium rod, and the way you rig these, I usually put a little scent on the head to make it slicker. All you do is just slide it into the bottom of these tubes. They're hollow. Just slide it in there, and there you go. You just push your eyelet out, and then you can tie on right there onto your eyelet. These, when you throw them out, they'll hit the water and they will start spiraling. They will spiral down to the bottom of the lake, and that attracts a lot of fish while that is spiraling down. This may be too big of a tube head to put into that little bitty glass tube, a little 2.5 incher. Let's have to see. I hadn't tried it. Get it opened up here. Slide that down in there. Nope. Works just fine. The hook's a little bit long for this little tube. I usually use a smaller head than these little tubes. But it'll go in there and you can push through. Just like that. You can tie it on. And like I said, I usually use a smaller head, smaller hook. On my little tubes. But that's how you rig those. Again, 6 or 8 pound test line, and go hit your points and that kind of thing. And especially if you're around smallmouth, those smallmouth will eat those tubes. I mean, eat them. But that's the baits that I will be fishing 99.99999% of the time with. While I'm fishing in June and basically the rest of the summer. All these are great baits for the summer, and that's my June baits, and you'll see them again in July and August. I'll try to put a couple of different things in for July and August as well, so it's not the exact same thing. But anyway, this has been kind of a long video. I don't like to make my videos just too long. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Thanks again for watching my video. And please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when I post another video. And please share with your friends, and so we can get the channel growing some more. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day and stay safe, and I will talk to you later.